Let's go with the Patriots. I'm with you. I think there's some good stuff to talk about. Well, I was just like with the Patriots, I think you look at it and, we talked a lot, right, towards the end of the year last year, how bad their schedule was. It certainly, helped them. And we always talk about the early part of the season. Do you get a chance to get your feet underneath you and kind of get rolling as a team? I mean, their first 4 games, they're pretty real. Now, I mean, I know the Steelers aren't what they used to be, and it'll be the Patriots home opener, so that's good. But 3 out of the first 4 on the road, and those 3 teams on the road they're not going anywhere. The culture's there. They'll go, even if they're not as good as last year, but at the Seahawks week 1, at the Jaguars week 3, at the Bills week 4. So that's different right there, right off the bat. And, yeah, I mean, we know the Jaguars are extremely talented on paper, in reality, whatever you want to say. And we know the Bills at home in that new stadium and with that, freak of nature at quarterback, it's never going to be easy. So that's, interesting to see there. Then they have a little reprieve. And then when they get after that bye week area there, and it becomes Bears, and then they have the Dolphins, and then the Packers, and then the Lions, and there's a bye week, and then Chargers, Bills, Vikings, Chiefs. You go, woo. Yeah, they didn't have little runs like that last year in their schedule. And it'll be, interesting to see how they handle all that.
Well, it is definitely going to be a more difficult schedule than last year because they have all 4 teams of the AFC West. They have all 4 teams of the NFC North. Last year they had the South of both conferences, and that made it easier to go on a run. And I remember last year that dichotomy, and even though, and I've said my piece, and I reserve the right to say it again whenever I feel like it, about gambling and sports betting and how you can't win, and good luck if you're trying, but sometimes the lines and the information around it can be instructive. And I remember last year the Patriots over-under win total was 7.5, and at some point before the season, I looked week by week at the lines. It's like they're favored to win like 12 games. I mean, there's a disconnect here between the over-under win total, if you're just going to look at it in a vacuum, and week by week what Vegas thinks about their chances. And lo and behold, the Patriots ended up being really good, and it's because they had a favorable schedule. And now they would have been a game better if they hadn't stepped on a rake against the awful, abysmal, embarrassing Raiders in week 1.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy about it.
No, totally. That's where week 1 is crazy.
They would have been the number 1. Yeah, I mean, they won the game anyway in the AFC Championship, but they probably would have been the number 1 seed if they hadn't urinated down their leg against the Raiders to start the season.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and that's what's always tricky about the early part of the season. You're not always playing your best football, and that's why, especially in the current environment of guys get hurt in training camp, we don't practice as much in training camp, preseason's not as intense on the field, to where you don't get a real true feel for the product of your team or your organization really until late September, early October. That's usually when it happens. And not to be a jerk, last year the Patriots were the NFC South and AFC North, just to correct you because you said the South. I'm just letting you know that so you know.
I thought they had the 2 Souths last year.
No,
they didn't have the 2 Souths last year?
Remember they had Baltimore, Pittsburgh, right? They played Cincinnati. They did that. And then on the NFC, they had the South. They had the Bucks, the Panthers, the Falcons, and all that.
Screw you then.
Yeah.
Right,
I was just trying to be a and be.
How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you? Yeah. Next time, just tell me to stay on target and shut the up.
Okay,
right.
I will.
I'm just kidding. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.